eyes on the prize. Most of us never really focus. We constantly feel a kind of irritating psychic chaos because we keep trying to think of too many things at once. There's always too much up there on the screen. There was an interesting motivational talk on this subject given by former Dallas Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson to his football players before the 1993 Super Bowl. I told them that if I laid a 2x4 across the room, everybody there would walk across it and not fall, because our focus would be that we were going to walk that 2x4, but if I put that same 2x4 10 stories high between two buildings, only a few would make it, because the focus would be on falling. Focus is everything. The team that is more focused today is the team that will win this game. Johnson told his team not to be distracted by the crowd, the media, or the possibility of losing, but to focus on each play of the game itself just as if it were a good practice session. The Cowboys won the game 52-17. There's a point to that story that goes way beyond football. Most of us tend to lose our focus in life because we're perpetually worried about so many negative possibilities. Rather than focusing on the 2x4, we worry about all the ramifications of falling. Rather than focusing on our goals, we are distracted by our worries and fears. But when you focus on what you want, it will come into your life. When you focus on being a happy and motivated person, which is who you will be. 5. Learn to sweat in peace. The harder you are on yourself, the easier life is on you. Or, as they say in the Navy SEALs, the more you sweat in peacetime, the less you bleed in war. My childhood friend Rhett Nichols was the first to show me this principle in action. When we were playing Little League baseball, we were always troubled by how fast the pitchers threw the ball. We were in an especially good league, and the overgrown opposing pitchers, whose birth certificates we were always demanding to see, fired the ball into us at alarming speeds during the games. We began dreading going up to the plate to hit. It wasn't fun. Batting had become something we just tried to get through without embarrassing ourselves too much. Then Rhett got an idea. What if the pitches we faced in games were slower than the ones we face every day in practice? Rhett asked. That's just the problem, I said. We don't know anybody who can pitch that fast to us. That's why, in the games, it's so hard. The ball looks like an aspirin pill coming in at 200 miles an hour. I know we don't know anyone who can throw a baseball that fast, said Rhett. But what if it wasn't a baseball? I don't know what you mean, I said. Just then Rhett pulled from his pocket a little plastic golf ball with holes in it. The kind our dads used to hit in the backyard for golf practice. Get a bat, Rhett said. I picked up a baseball bat and we walked out to the park near Rhett's house. Rhett went to the pitcher's mound, but came in about 3 feet closer than usual. As I stood at the plate, he fired the little golf ball past me as I tried to swing at it. Ha ha! Rhett shouted. That's faster than anybody you'll face in Little League. Let's get going. We then took turns pitching to each other with this bizarre little ball humming in at incredible speeds. The little plastic ball was not only hilariously fast, but it curved and dropped more sharply than any Little Leaguer's pitch could do. By the time Rhett and I played our next league game, we were ready. The pitches looked like they were coming in slow motion. Big white balloons. I hit the first and only home run I ever hit after one of Rhett's sessions. It was off a left-hander whose pitch seemed to hang in the air forever before I creamed it. The lesson Rhett taught me was one I've never forgotten. Whenever I'm afraid of something coming up, I will find a way to do something that's even harder or scarier. Once I do the harder thing, the real thing becomes fun. The great boxer Muhammad Ali used to use this principle in choosing his sparring partners. He'd make sure that the sparring partners he worked with before a fight were better than the boxer he was going up against in the real fight. They might not always be better all around, but he found sparring partners who were each better in one certain way or another than his upcoming opponent. After facing them, he knew going into each fight that he had already fought those skills and won. You can always stage a bigger battle than the one you have to face. If you have to make a presentation in front of someone who scares you, you can always rehearse it first in front of someone who scares you more. If you've got something hard to do and you're hesitant to do it, pick out something even harder and do that first. Watch what it does to your motivation going into the real challenge.